Hey everybody, welcome back to Coach's Corner. I'm staff writer Ben Barkley. I'm sitting here with boys varsity lacrosse head coach, Coach Schmidlkofer. Coach, how you doing today?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. All right, so talk to me about the season so far.
Well, it's we've played a tough schedule. We've kind of been up and down. We're young in some spots, which that was expected. But the good thing about basically our whole season is basically to get ready for May, and that's ultimately where we want to be playing. We only have 4 teams in our region, so they expanded the playoffs, so we're all 4 in the playoffs already. So now we're just trying to, just get better and get ready. We've amped up our schedule to get ready for, trying to get past that quarterfinal round.
So who would you say, player-wise, has made the biggest impact so far this year?
Well, I think our captain, Reed Harrison, is kind of the guy that's got the most experience. The people, and experience is everything. It's just like in any other job or sport. Guys like Carson Lester, who's been in the program for 4 years, Derek Saylor, Jake Zellin. The older guys are kind of leading it. And, and then we have a lot of young guys that are plenty capable of doing the job. They just, sometimes they get themselves, they slow themselves down by thinking too much.
So a player you didn't mention, Garrett Munich, it seems like he's, going perfect on face-offs, and he's really driving you guys down the field every time a face-off. What kind of player is he to the offense?
Garrett's huge. I mean, he knows that. With no disrespect, not mentioning, but it's just, he's our guy. He gets us the ball. And that's a huge advantage when you can kind of play, make it, take it. You score, you win the ball, you score again. And he's just, he's one of the best in the state for a reason because he works at it. But yeah, he really dictates the flow of the game. He can control the flow of the game just because he's so good at it, specializes in facing off.
And I talked to you about this after the game against Whitewater. The 2 goalies, Derek, he seems he's always shutting down the first half, and then Brock's always finishing off second half. How important are they?
Oh, man, unbelievable. We went, Derek's sophomore year, we didn't have hardly any goalies in the program, and right now we got 3 guys that can play on a varsity team. We have Derek, of course, then Brock, and then we got a freshman, Landon Whitney, that, they're just, they're just solid players, and they're competitive, and all 3 of them push each other, and it's just made our whole team better.
So tomorrow you guys have St. Pius X. What are you guys doing to prepare for that game?
Just doing what we do. We got to get better. We really, we kind of take it as we try to take it as a faceless opponent. We really don't look about who we play. We kind of worry more about us. I mean, of course, you got to have a scouting report, but. I think the guys know that we have to execute offensively, defensively, and in the transition game. And, that's what we spent since Whitewater week of doing and trying to get the young guys up to par so we can kind of make a push in May.
And so I talked to you about this before as well, but your guys are 5-4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of people are saying, kind of a downward year. This team's kind of young. What would you have to say to those people?
I don't really pay attention to much outside stuff. The people are going to think what they want. I can't really control that. What I can control is the pulse of this team, and making sure our players are put in the position to be the most successful. And the coaching staff does a great job of that. And our JV team's going to wrap up, and we've won. I don't know, they're 7-2 or 7-3-1, and we got a couple of games, so they've had a successful year. We got a lot of young talent coming up in the next couple of years. So. I try to block out that. I mean, social media and everything doesn't allow a lot of the players to, but I have no idea what's on social media and what we just kind of go along, just go about our business each day.
So now, area-wise, you've got some area games coming up towards the end of the season before a state championship.
That's right.
What game you think is most important in the area to win?
Well, right now, Trinity. Trinity's our most important game. And then if whatever happens with Trinity, we got to move to the next one. I know that kind of sounds like coach speak, but if you get going and start looking ahead to some of the ones that we got when we get back after spring break, that's when you get in trouble. And our guys know that. We've got to take care of St. Pius is a big game. We're going to worry about St. Pius, but as far as the region goes, and just like St. Pius, they got a region that an area they got to play in. You know, our first game's Trinity next Tuesday, and that's a big game for us because if we don't win that one, then everything else is irrelevant.
And how do you see this team doing in state this year?
Well, I mean, we have glimpses where we can be very, 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 very good. And then we'll have, because of the youth, we'll go into spells where we're not playing as consistent. And the guys know that. I mean, they see it on tape. We watch film. And so, you know, it just depends on our draw. You know, it depends on how we finish up the year, who we match up well. I feel like with our face-off guy and our goalies, I feel like we can match up with just about anybody. It's just we have to get the midfielder, and our defense is very good too. We just got to get our midfielders, just got to get them experience. We're just young there.
And where do you see the future going with this team?
Oh, well, I mean, you mean past this year?
Past this year.
Oh, the program's on solid ground. I mean, we got a lot of good players. We got a good coaching staff. You know, the players know what the expectations are. They do a great job. I have very, very few issues. They do what they're supposed to do. They play hard for 48 minutes. And, you know, as long as they can continue to do that, you know, eventually you'll have that breakthrough year. And we're eventually going to have one. It's just going to, you know, when is it going to happen? Could be this year. I don't know. You know, we got, you know, the regular season record really doesn't matter. It's just, we've got to get in the playoffs, and once we get past May 1st, everybody's 0-0, and you got to win 5 to win it. So, you know, that's kind of where we're at.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Coach.
Okay, Ben, thanks for all you do, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. And tomorrow, right here in Panther Stadium, the boys lacrosse team has a match against St. Pius X Catholic. If you're not doing anything, you should come out and support your Panthers. They really appreciate it. And thank you for watching this episode of Coach's Corner.